Okay, so I have in my hands today a piece of chaga. So if you stick around and watch the rest of the footage, we're going to make some chaga tea today. Alright, so as far as what chaga is, chaga mushroom, it grows on birch and other trees. It has a parasitic relationship with the tree. And it's usually identified on the exterior of the tree by this blackened, irregular shaped cone that almost looks like charcoal. A lot of people would describe it as sort of an irregular shaped piece of charcoal growing out of the tree. It usually grows, ironically, higher up in the trees. You usually won't find it eye level. It's got many medicinal benefits, which I'll get into in a moment. And I wanted to do a special shout out. I did not harvest this piece myself. This was gifted to me by my buddy Cedric in Quebec. So Cedric, merci. I'm going to enjoy this chaga tea today, just like I have the other two pieces that you sent my way. Cheers. All right, so the benefits of chaga mushroom or chaga tea, I mean, there's so many to list. I'm not going to get into a very high level of detail, but I will run off the Cole's notes for someone who's in the bush and they come across it or they just want to have it occasionally. It's high in vitamins B and D. It's got potassium, amino acids, iron, calcium. All right, just that alone right there, a cup of that sounds pretty good. As far as longer term benefits for people who perhaps drink it regularly, it lowers cholesterol, it prevents and fights cancer, it lowers blood pressure, it's a really fantastic immune system support, it's an anti-inflammatory, it lowers blood sugar. Those would be some benefits that perhaps people who are drinking it longer term or consistently would have. And as far as the risks, I'm going to use my standard disclaimer. You know, just like anything that you harvest in the forest or prescription medicine, anything, consult with a doctor, do your own research, make sure that it is right for you and your body's situation before you go ahead and try it. I've done my research. I've had this before. I'm comfortable with it. That doesn't mean it's right for everyone. So if you're not familiar with it, pause the video and do some research and make sure that it's something that would be okay for you to ingest. So as far as making the tea, it's quite simple. You take your chaga, you put it in boiling water. And from there, you can find many hundreds of different ways and approaches to how people take it. Some people break it up, chop it up, grind it up, and they put a fine powder in, boil it that way. Some people take a piece this size, break it up into different sizes. Some people just take the nugget and put it right into the water. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this nugget, I'm going to put it in the water. As far as cooking time, again, some people, pop it in for 5 minutes. They enjoy a cup of chaga tea. Some people will not boil, but steep this for several hours, up to 4 or 5 hours, and believe it or not, up to 4 or 5 days. It really depends on what you're looking for. If you just want to enjoy a nice cup, 5 minutes can do it. If you want to extract as many of the medicinal benefits as possible, you probably want to go somewhere in the neighborhood of a minimum a couple of hours up to however long you want to simmer it and however strong you want the tea. So what I'm going to do today is just pop it in the pot. I don't have a fire going because we're in the middle of a very extended fire ban. So I've just got my propane stove. I'm going to pop this in, bring it up to a boil, drop it down to a simmer, and just let it go for at least 2 hours. And then we'll have a look at what the actual tea looks like. And Moment of truth. We are about 2.5 hours in. I ran out of propane gas, so that's going to have to do as far as how long I'm going to steep it. I've got the water itself reduced down by about 30-40%. And let's see if we can show here this beautiful amber color of the tea. Look at that. Just like a normal English tea or a very light coffee. Give it a taste. I don't have words to describe the taste. I've tried to describe it to people before. I would love to hear, if you made it this far in the video, drop me a comment and let me know what you think it tastes like, because I'm having difficulty associating it with any other taste or flavor. It tastes good. Certainly a lot better than birch polypore tea, which tastes like dirty socks. So there we have it. I've got a nice cup of amber goodness, all kinds of medicinal benefits. I'm going to sit down, enjoy this cup of tea, and maybe later go for a dip. Cheers.